Rideshare buddy out on the road, helping each other lighten the load. Tips and tricks, yeah, the knowledge flows in this grind where the journey glows.
Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is Rideshare Buddy UK. My name's Kevin and it's a July update on EV chargers for the professional driver, in particular Uber drivers and rideshare drivers. Few bits of information coming out this week. That's occurred in last week. So Tesla prices are being cut, as you would expect. A little section for Greater Manchester taxi and private hire drivers, exclusive charging points and prices. Some news on BYD. I was wrong on BYD in the last June update when I said they were launching their 1000 kilowatt chargers next year. I was wrong. My apologies. It's happening this year. And Ionity is also going to be launching their 1000 kilowatt chargers this year as well. They've taken on an Italian flash charger make, and they're being rolled out this year. So let's have a quick roundup of the three most important prices for rideshare and taxi drivers. That's Tesla, BP Pulse if you're an Uber driver, and Ionity. And then we'll have a look at BEV, which have teamed up with Greater Manchester Transport Authority to put in place 100 EV taxi exclusive charging locations and a special price. So let's have a look at the Tesla first. So Elon Musk has given up his role in the US government and his Doge department, and he's back at Tesla. So he's going to put Tesla back on the correct route, because it has lost its way a bit since Elon Musk got involved in politics. So he's out to put it back on route, and within a few days of him being back at Tesla, he has cut, or at least in the UK, prices at Tesla superchargers have dropped by about 20%. So here at the Celtic Manor Resort, last month pricing was peak time 43 pence, off peak time I believe was about 36 pence. Peak time was pretty much on a par with Ionity at 43 pence. Now peak time, that's from 8 AM to 11 PM, prices are 36 pence a kilowatt hour. And off peak from 11 PM to 8 AM, they've dropped down to 29 pence a kilowatt hour. That's the first time in Newport that you're going to be able to get supercharging, fast supercharging at below 30 pence a kilowatt hour. So let's put that, excuse me, I'm going to turn off while this helicopter takes off. Okay, so let's carry on. So let's take a look at that on a price per mile basis. We'll use my car, the Ioniq 5. I average 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. That's because I'm on budget tyres. If I'm on proper EV economy tyres, I can get 4.5, 4.6. But I'm on cheap budget tyres, 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So at 36 pence peak time charging at Tesla, that works out at 8.57 pence per mile. Off peak at 29p kilowatt hour, it works out at 6.9 pence per mile. Let's put that into some sort of context with regards to petrol. Before I had this car, I had the Ioniq Hybrid, the classic hybrid, and I was getting about 60 miles to the gallon. Down at the local Asda, they are charging £1.30 a litre, which works out at £5.91 a mile. So at 60 miles to the gallon, that works out at 9.85 pence per mile. So more expensive than running this car on electric at public charging. With Prius, which I had before the Ioniq, I could get 70 miles to the gallon. That would deliver 8.44 pence per mile. So if I was a day driver, it would cost the more expensive to run this than a Prius. And this is a much bigger car, comfort level car, much bigger, much heavier, much more comfortable to be in, much more leg room, more height room. It's just overall a much better quality car. And it's only cost me £0.50 more per mile than running a Prius at £1.30 a litre. If I was a night driver, 6.9 pence a mile on electric, I would be saving 1.5 pence per mile. So even in the Prius now, Tesla, Elon Musk wants to take on the petrol companies, and his pricing now is better than petrol companies. So Tesla, back at the best quality, best prices, back at the lowest prices, a great charging network, open for all. It is, though, getting very hard to get on this supercharger network at the Castle Manor. I probably come up here 5 times and I might get on twice, if that. There won't be any spaces because I need 2 spaces. Being Hyundai, I need to park in 1 space and use the pump on the next. 3 times out of 5, I can't get on, and I either end up at BP on the Morpeth Road or go down to Ionity at Mega. Which brings me up to the time of year. This is now July. This is the time of year where it's extremely hard to get on any charger in Newport that's affordable. I did go down to, I was going to charge at Ionity today, but they are all full with holiday makers. It's on the M4. I think there's one 50 kilowatt charger at Mega Services. So those 6 350 kilowatt chargers at Mega, at the Thai Mega Hotel, those are the ones that people are using, fully booked out and a queue. So I came here and I managed to squeeze on. But that's unusual. This is normally pretty full up. BP at Malpas Road, normally pretty full up. So July and August, beginning of September, is now the time. I had real difficulties last year in charging. I expect to have real problems finding the space this year for charging. Plenty of superfast chargers around, Sainsbury's, Shell, Instavolt, all at a price which you can't use as a taxi driver because you'll have no profit. I can't afford to pay 70, 80, 90 pence a kilowatt hour. I have food to buy, rent to pay. And if I'm paying that much, I'd give the car back and go back to petrol. So that's Tesla, back in the lead of all of the chargers. Let's have a quick look at Ionity, 43 pence a kilowatt hour with the subscription. That works out at 10.23 pence per mile. So a little bit more expensive than the Ionic Hybrid to run, but not too bad. You can make a profit at that. It's affordable. You can still use an EV without home charging and still find locations to charge up cheap enough to make a profit. Ionity 43 pence per kilowatt hour. They're rolling out later this year the new HYC 1000 chargers. These have 1000 kilowatt charging capacity on each charger. Each charger has 2 leads and can charge 2 cars. Each car up to a maximum of 600 kilowatt charging. So that's a dynamic split. So if one car's going to full 600, the other cars are only going to get 400. So that's more than suitable for 99% of all the cars on the road. Most of them won't go much above 200, so that can really pull in 220, 250 kilowatts without any problems. So that's coming in at the second half of this year, or from next month onwards, at Ionity. So before we take a look at BP Pulse, which is a third main one for people, if you're an Uber driver especially, you get your free Pulse membership and a discounted price. Before we do that, let's have a look at BEV. BEV has just gone into partnership with Greater Manchester Transport Authority. They've installed 100 designated taxi and private hire only charging locations. These, I believe, are 50 kilowatt chargers. Not great speeds, but enough to get you out of problems if needed. I think really there needs to be around 100 kilowatt charging at least for a taxi. You need to get in, get charged, get on the road. But at 50 kilowatt hour, it's okay. Or 50 kilowatt charging, okay. You have to download the app, get the RFID card, go to one of the Transport for Manchester offices with your badge and various other details, and they'll authorise you to be able to use the taxi and private hire restricted chargers. Price is discounted at 50p per kilowatt hour. So not a bad one, that's 11.9 pence per mile. Normally, BEV peak time is 60 pence a kilowatt hour, off peak 55p a kilowatt hour. So you're going to be getting 10 pence a kilowatt hour off during the day, 5 pence off during the evening. So that's a good one for those Greater Manchester licensed or licensed with one of the local authorities within the Greater Manchester area. Just grab that. No membership fee required, so well worth having on backup if needed. 50p kilowatt hour is not too bad a price either compared to a lot of others. And the best thing is they are designated EV taxi bays, so you should be able to get on without too much of a problem. Something we need in Newport. We do have some taxi dedicated bays, I think at the council house, run by Dragon, 65 pence a kilowatt hour, unaffordable. I never pay more than 50p, can't afford to pay more than 50p as a taxi driver. You're here to make a profit, and every penny counts on the mileage. So let's have a look at BP Pulse. Uber driver, free subscription, saves you £9 a month. Oh, Tesla membership has gone up from $8.99 a month to $9.99 a month. So, bit of a rise there, but not too bad. You get free Pulse membership as an Uber driver and a price of 49 pence per kilowatt hour. Give you 11.66 pence per mile costs. There's some interesting news with BP Pulse, which we'll have a look at now. So BP Pulse has pulled out of the workplace market. They're no longer going to be taking on any new customers for workplace charging. This tends to be the slower chargers. Slow chargers are finished. The only people now investing in slow chargers are basically local authorities, because they need to spend money and try to hit set number of targets to have chargers. The fact that those chargers are useless, aren't going to be used, and are just going to be left to rot is not really important. It's public money. Let's just waste it as we do. But BP Pulse is pulling out. I expect that they will sell it off their workplace market at some stage. They will continue to support customers that they already have, just not taking any new ones on. That's your 7 kilowatt, 11 kilowatt type of slow charger. What was interesting is, and I'll just get the actual words off this, you can look it up on Fleet News. Let me just get this out and we'll have a chat about it. So yeah, you can get it on BP, the Fleet News, operators of fleets of cars. And this is what BP said. Interesting one. The spokesperson said, at BP Pulse, which is part of BP, we are constantly assessing opportunities to improve our competitive position and better serve our customers. Our aim is to be the number one ultra-fast and rapid network in the UK. We'll continue to focus on building on-the-go electric vehicle EV charging hubs and installing EV charging at our existing BP forecourts. Now, BP Pulse are claiming that they've got 3,000 rapid and ultra-fast EV chargers in the UK. I think they're a little bit mistaken on that. They tend to count the number of cables as being EV chargers. So you got a lot of these Cadimo, a lot of these pumps or chargers with both CCS and Cadimo leads on, and BP counts that as 2 chargers. It's only 1 charger. But we'll have a look at that, because it's interesting that BP Pulse wants to be the biggest, or wants to be the number one in the UK. Now, go for it by June ZapMap stats. Tesla has 2,121 chargers. Second is Instavolt with 2,034 chargers. Third is BP Pulse with 1,354 chargers. These are rapid and ultra-fast chargers, so 50 kilowatts and above. Ionity surprised me. It's only got 198 at the moment, but it's going for a vast expansion at the moment. GridServe only has 961. Osprey is the fourth biggest at 1,338. And MFG EV Power has 1,088. So BP at the moment with 1,354 is the third biggest behind Tesla at 2,121 and Instavolt at 2,034. Now Shell Recharge has a total of 9,705 chargers, but the bulk of those are slow chargers, 3 kilowatt, 7 kilowatt, lamppost chargers and the like. Ultra fast, anything over 50 kilowatts per hour, they've only got 766. So BP Pulse is obviously going to be looking at doubling their number of rapid and ultra rapid chargers if they want to get ahead of Tesla. And they have to add on at least 700, 800 to get ahead of Instavolt. And of course, we have BYD just around the corner heading to the UK. So that's an interesting one. BP Pulse is not pulling out of the EV market. They're going to be expanding because their aim is to be the number one. But now, let's have a quick look at BYD and their flash chargers. Okay, so I had to make a quick move. I'd completed the charge, so I moved out to Tesco's because I'm about to do a bit of shopping. Not much work today. I'm not going to be doing it. Sunday, so Sunday off. The final section of today's video is an apology for getting it wrong last month. Last month, I said BYD was going to roll out their 1,000 kilowatt chargers next year. They're not. They're going to be rolling them out this year. So this is from Autocar, the latest update on BYD flash chargers. They were planning on next year in the UK because they had targets to build and launch 1,000 units in China this year before going global. However, let's have a quick look. No, originally BYD planned to install 5,000 in China this year, but they've already installed those well ahead of schedule. Their factories producing the chargers faster than they were expected. They were getting them installed and operational much faster than they were expected. So instead of delaying their global launch till next year, they've increased their targets of 5,000 in China to 15,000 in China by the end of the year. And they've also taken it global. And the UK is top of the list. And I think I said last month that the reason for that is because planning permission is no longer required for EV chargers. Makes it so much easier, so much quicker, so much more affordable to get things done where you have no planning to worry about. So BYD, 15,000 units installed in China this year. Let's have a look at what he says. Stella Lee, Vice President, said that one of the most important markets, the UK, is in the frame to be an early adopter. And BYD is already preparing to install the first megawatt chargers in the country by the end of 2025. First ones from BYD later this year. So they haven't given a complete time frame or where it will be at, but they believe, Autocar believes it's going to be at one of the partners who are going to be selling the Denza Z9 GT, which will be launching early next year. So the dealerships of the Denzas, BYD dealerships, are probably going to get the chargers first so that they can charge up the Z9 GT, which is due on sale in the UK from the first quarter of 2026. Now, the Denza Z9 GT can charge at 1,000 kilowatts hour. And they do that because they have 2 inlet chargers. So each car has 2 inlet chargers that can charge at 500 kilowatts. So that's what it's going to be. It'll be 1,000 kilowatt cabinet with 2 hoses on, and the Denza Z9 will pull up, driver pushing both of the nozzles on that, and he'll charge at a rate of 1,000 kilowatts per hour, or 260 miles in 5 minutes. They are going to be open for all, so the car can come in, use just the one nozzle that will deliver up to 500, and it'll take as much as the car can take. This car will be able to take 220, other cars might only take 100, 150, depending on the make. So the Denzas are coming out, and those are the only ones that will be able to take that. BYD are introducing other cars, the B5 SUV and D9 MPV. Well, those are only going to be plug-in hybrids. They're not going to be full electric. You see a Z9 series, and there's going to be a range of cars. There's going to be the Sports Coupe, which is what the Z9 GT is. There's going to be an SUV version. There's going to be a SUV version, and MPV and saloon estate and stuff like that. But the Z9s are going to be the 1,000 kilowatt chargers, and they'll be released later this year, probably as a BYD dealership in preparation for the release of the car. So that's it. So I think that's about all this is for this month. Tesla, big drops in price, about 20% drop in price. So check out your local dealership, your local Tesla place, and find out if they've dropped the prices. BP pulling out of the slow charging market. Slow charging market's finished, completely finished. Anybody who's now in the slow charging market, connected curb, Shell Recharge, anything pod's already gone. It's been bought up by EDF, sorry. It's finished. Slow charging is finished. It's not going to happen. It sees fast charging, super hubs, that's the future. And BYD's in there. Ionity is bringing out their 1,000 kilowatt chargers. So yeah, good things happening in the next 6 months to 12 months on the EV charging. So hope you enjoyed that roundup of all the news. Till next month, August, I'll keep my ears peeled and eyes peeled and ears open and find out what's going on. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and my next video will be out shortly. So thank you for watching.